Hello, Graybeards. Welcome to another edition of Drive Time. I know it's been a couple weeks since I put one out. Last one I did, I was having trouble with the wind from the air conditioning. I don't have my little microphone with me. I should remember to keep it in here when I just do Drive Time when I feel like something's on my brain to talk about. Well, I saw in the news today that GM announced that they're moving out of Mexico for their production. I thought that's good stuff. To me, that's great. It just tells me that, I don't know, tariffs may be working like as promised, I guess, bringing jobs back to America. Will it reduce prices? I don't think it will. Personally, I don't really think it will reduce any prices of the vehicles. I think GM is pretty set on most auto manufacturers. They're probably going to keep the prices close where they are to maintain profitability, I guess. I don't know how many billions they feel they need to make every year. I guess it's all about, those stockholders, getting their dividends. But that'd be interesting to see. Keep in mind that we got less than 4 years of this administration to be in office. Things can change. It takes time to retool plants or move operations, and the logistics side of changing your production is pretty extensive and very involved. We'll just have to wait and see if they keep their word and actually do bring manufacturing back. I think it's a good thing. Sure, and of course there's going to be the naysayers that really don't know much about auto industry, and I don't profess to know a ton about it myself. I know that there's always going to be parts of the vehicle made in other countries, just because that's the only source for it, and keep prices maybe somewhat lower. We'll see. I've always said this, higher wages will not improve people's life. Now, if you have an extreme increase in said wages, sure, they can improve their life. But everything, all of it rolls downhill. Look at the prices for food at these fast food restaurants. I ain't gonna say they've doubled, but I bet they're 50% higher than they were a few years ago when everybody was demanding a living wage. That's just one example, right? Because those this is just the fast food industry. It goes across the board. In my opinion, you start having higher costs for your employees, they're not going to eat that cost. They're going to pass it on to the consumer, et cetera, right? So increased pricing for products or services that cost you X amount just 6 months ago, now is going to cost you more. So that increased wages that you were expecting to bank on are now going out the door. But those are things that you as a consumer, you can control. You don't go out to eat as often. You pack a lunch. I pack a lunch 4 out of 5 days a week when I'm at work. Leftovers. Today I had a PB&J. I think people as consumers are a little misguided in really their needs and wants. And I've talked about that on the show, needs versus wants. But it's the same with a vehicle, really, when you think about it. If you've saved your pennies all your life to buy that vehicle that you've always wanted, and you reduced your debt so you can afford the payment on the vehicle that you're going to keep for a long time, and it has all the amenities and niceties that you want versus what you need. Again, needs and wants. I mean, really, I need, this little car, the old Dodge Caliber, still rolling. Really, the only amenities that added to the price of this vehicle was the garbage automatic transmission and air conditioning. Living down here in South Carolina, could I drive home without air conditioning? Sure. I'd be a little bit dehydrated by the time I got home, but you could do it. So is air conditioning a need? I would say yes, because I drive this car is driven a lot. It isn't just driven to and from work. Majority of the time it is, but it isn't just solely that. But again, that's the needs and wants. All these fancy things that they're putting in these vehicles now that cost crazy money is just mind-boggling. I'm sure they're nice to have all that, bleep bloop, gingerbread, backup cameras, adaptive cruise, and all that. That all costs money and adds to the cost of these vehicles. Whereas this car was very basic. It has roll-up windows, manual seats. There is a tilt wheel, but that's it. And it does, and I think that lends to the fact, aside from the transmission issue, it does just what it's supposed to. I've had to repair things over the last, how long I had this thing? 17 years? Yeah. And, it's just, people just need to look at it. But back on topic, will GM go through with bringing vehicles back? It's, we'll just have to wait. See, I think they said it's going to cost them $3 or $4 billion. And that's an investment back in this country. It's going to put people to work. It's going to create jobs, for Americans. And I think, personally, that's a good thing. And it's hard for me to look at someone that says it's not a good idea because they're worried that their car is going to cost them, $5,000 more on a vehicle they probably shouldn't be buying in the first place. So, I don't know. I think bringing jobs in America is a good thing. Let me know what you guys think on, down in somewhere in the comment section what you feel. I mean, really, I'd really like to know if you think these tariffs are a good idea or a bad idea. Kind of in the automotive industry, I think they're a good thing. Far too long we've been the bank roll for many countries. We try to sell our products overseas and they put this huge tariffs on it. I don't think people really understand the power of a tariff. I don't truly fully understand it, but I have a very good idea of how it works. It's kind of like, what is that? You wash my back, I wash yours kind of thing, or rub my back. What is that saying? You cannot just keep giving up everything. But with that said, I hope everybody's doing well. Father's Day is coming up this weekend. All the fathers out there, hope you have a great day. And I will probably give my dad a call on Sunday. We'll see. Anyways, y'all take care. Thanks for watching. Hit that like thingy and share it with your friends. If you ain't subscribed and you like the content, please do. Other than that, take care, drive safe, and God bless.